Hey everybody, it's me, Brother Wild Bill, coming to you from inside the most dangerous prison in Central America. I'm serving a 46-year sentence, and this is my audio diary. I was a hitman in the street from 2006 to 2010 when I was arrested, and I've been in prison for 13 years. I'm also the prison's chaplain as well as an inmate. I am pastor of the church in hell. How did I become pastor of the church in hell? Now that's a good question, ain't it? And so I thought I'd answer that today. You're going to hear a bunch of racket in the background because I'm recording during the day. We're all closed in because of a killing that happened here, and so we're all on lockdown. I want to take that opportunity to do something positive with my time, even though I'm on lockdown here. I thought I'd communicate some things to you, and this is a humorous story, but it also shows the power of God and destiny and how anybody can become a better person. Earlier in an episode, we talked about how I came to be in a punishment block called Sector C. I've been here for 3 years and 3 months. I got here and you can go back and listen to that episode. It's in the listing here. You can go back and listen to that audio diary of how I got in Sector C if you want to know about Sector C. And so I wanted to tell you about how I actually became the pastor, how I created a church, so to speak, in hell, and what that was like. And it's a humorous story. So I got here on the 22nd of October, 2019, and it was a real shock because I'd been in minimum security prison for 9 years running the show. I even wrote a book called Long Live the King, Wild Bill about those experiences in prison and some of the crazy cool things I pulled off inside prison, a bunch of girls, all kind of crazy stuff that I did. When I was in prison, it's called Long Live the King, Wild Bill. You can pull the description box down, you can buy it. It's on Amazon right now if you're really interested. Anyway, so I came from an environment of really low security and a life that was probably better than most of the people listening here, even though I was in prison. And I got put into the worst prison in Central America, in the worst part of the worst prison in Central America, resulting of some really stupid shit that I did. Imagine that. Anyway, so I've been here a couple of months, got to know everybody. There's a kid here named Cop Killer. His name's Mata Policia. This was when I first got here. He's been here the whole time with me. Anyway, he was here, and then there was a really skinny, like crackhead type guy named Jerry that was supposed to be the preacher. He wasn't the pastor of the church. He was just a preacher, a person who, during his exercise time, would go cell to cell and like preaching, honestly, insanity and like just messages that were very difficult to follow, and he was kind of a joke. And I don't want to talk bad about Jerry, but you'll understand as you go along. Like one day he'd be preaching, the next day he'd be shit-faced drunk, and the next day he's preaching, and then he's all high on cocaine. So I mean, it wasn't really the life that he was leading wasn't really an example of the love of Jesus Christ or even of a sane person, if you want the truth. And so you can imagine that his preaching was fairly ineffective. Well, anyway, one day I had gone through something that I want to call the breaking of the bill. Bill became a broken man, really. I mean, like I lost my money, I lost my wife, I lost communication with the outside world. I mean, I was in deep shit. And I began to pray, something I hadn't done in a long time. And I asked God, what do you want me to do? And God told me clearly through prayer, and I'm not insane, he didn't speak to me with words, but he told me clearly through what he wanted me to start a church here in prison. I believe in God, and I believe in Jesus Christ. I think Jesus Christ is a divine being who came to earth to teach us how to treat one another. And he wanted me to preach that. And I said, hey man, are you insane? I mean, like I'm having like a conversation with God, in my mind, obviously. Like, are you out of your mind? I can't, they're not gonna listen to me. I'm a foreigner as well. And I'm like supposed to be this big bad guy. Who's gonna listen to me preach about Jesus? Well, anyway, so that went on for a little while, and so I decided, well, I'll help Jerry. What I'll do, instead of preaching, I'll organize the church because it's like really unorganized. I used to do that in the old prison, in the minimum security prison. I organized all the churches that came in from the outside, and so I'll help Jerry. That's how I'll help him. Like I'm gonna meet God halfway. I want to tell you the truth. You don't ever meet God halfway. That don't happen. And so God, when he wants something from you, it's 100% or nothing. So, but anyway, I said, well, I'll meet God halfway and I'll help Jerry. So I started helping Jerry with the church, and Jerry came, and he began preaching in I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted because we've got cops coming in and out of here. So Jerry began preaching a little bit better, let's say. And so the kid, cop killer, who's this young kid who killed 2 police officers on the outside, and that's why they call him cop killer. Mata Policia is his name, and that translates cop killer. That's his nickname, and everybody goes by nickname here. Nobody goes by name. And anyway, so the kid goes, for some reason, I don't even know why, and kicks Jerry in the ass. Like, kicks him hard enough to lift him up off the ground. Kicks him in the ass, the preacher. Stupid shit that only happened in a Panamanian prison. Well, Jerry comes to I don't know none of this. I'm in my cell. Jerry comes to my cell, and my door would happen to be open. And he comes inside, and he says, "Hey, I need a knife." And I said, "Well, there's a knife on the lids right there." And it's this little bitty thing I used to, like, peel oranges. He's like, "No, a shank, man. I want a shank." I'm like, "What the hell, Jerry? You're the pastor of the church. Why would you need a shank? For what reason would you need a shank?" And Jerry said, "No, I'm going to kill Mata Policia." I'm like, "Jerry, you're the preacher of the church. Why are you going to kill Mata Policia? Why are you going to kill cop killer? Why?" And he says, "Well, he kicked me in the ass." And I'm like, "Well, Jesus Christ, they spit in his face and stuff, and he still died for all of us. So you're just going to have to carry your cross, Jerry." "No, fuck the church." He's like, whoa. I'm like, "Whoa, don't even, like, that even, like, hurts my ears to hear you say that, man. Don't say it. Fuck the church." He said, "No." I said, "No, man, don't." I was like, "Look." And he's like, "You're the new pastor." I said, "No, I am not. I am not the pastor of the church. You're going to continue to be the preacher. And like Monday, you have a service to give. You just go to your cell and cool off, close yourself in, get cooled off, and then we'll talk about what to do in the church service." Like, "Fuck the church." I'm like, "No, stop saying that, man." So anyway, Monday came and went, and Monday came and he was drunk off his ass. And so, but there was a church service to give. So I went and I gave the church service, but I just gave it like a singing service. I'm not about to preach. So I didn't feel like, up to it. And so I went and I prayed and I asked God, "What are you doing to me? Why are you putting me in this position?" And he says, "I want you to preach my word. I want you to preach what you know. I want you to preach, the law of attraction. I want you to preach the law of gratitude. I want you to preach the law of the harvest, things that you know that are true." So I'm like, shit. So I started preaching, and when I started preaching, people started to show up. And then pretty soon, the cops started to show up. Then pretty soon, lots of people started showing up. And then after about 6 months, I got pretty damn good at it. I felt like I was pretty good at preaching, and I started to really enjoy it. Really enjoy speaking to people and encouraging people, and like actually going. So I developed a program to try to help kids get off gangs. And the police commissioner here called me one day to his office, and he said, "Hey, it's like this sector of the prison historically has never had a chaplain, and we're not allowed to bring people in from the outside. Why don't you be the chaplain of the church?" I'm like, "You got to be out of your mind. I'm a killer, man." It's like, "No, but look what you're doing." I mean, the cop, this is the head cop here, the head police officer, the police commissioner, says, "Look, I want you to do it. I want you to be the chaplain." So they appointed me in about February 15th, as a matter of fact, of 2020. As the prison's chaplain as well, while I'm an inmate, and they gave me a paper and everything. And so I've been working since that time as the chaplain here. And so I have a program that I wrote and designed myself to help to give gang members self-esteem. Why do kids join a gang? And the kids join a gang because they don't think they can do anything else. A kid who wants to be a doctor is never going to join a gang. A kid who wants to be a lawyer is never going to join a gang. A kid who wants to own his own business isn't going to join a gang. A kid that joins a gang is a kid who doesn't feel like he can do jack shit, and he needs somebody else to take care of him. And he doesn't have anybody. And I want to show those kids that you don't have to have anybody, and you don't have to be super intelligent or from a good family in order to be successful in life. You can be successful. Everybody, anybody listening to my voice can be successful in life. And so that's what I teach. That's what I preach, and that's how I became pastor of the church in hell. If you like this story, this true story, please like and subscribe and comment. Say, "Hey, Bill, I like the story," or "Hey, Bill, you're shit," whichever, whatever. Just like and subscribe and comment, because it really helps. If you want to know more about me, pull the description box down, and there's a Wikipedia page there that goes through pretty much. It's pretty accurate. And then also my Instagram and Facebook links are there as well in the description box. If you want to check out my book and learn about my memoir, about my crazy shenanigans in prison and my hijinks and during the Panama Justice, during my trial and all that stuff, you can read about it in Long Live the King Wild Bill, which is also in the description box, available for $12 on Amazon. Every time you buy one, I make $4, and God knows I need the money, because they don't give you jack shit in a Panamanian prison. You have to buy your own food, you got to buy your own deodorant, your own toilet paper, your own toothpaste, your own medicine, your own clothes, your own bed. You got to buy it all. So help me out, guys, and enjoy it. Share this with somebody else that might enjoy it as well. Thanks. I love each and every one of you. God bless you. This is Wild Bill coming to you from inside the most dangerous prison in the Western Hemisphere. A chaplain of the church in hell.